Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2025. The album, Dad AF. Let me get my microphone out. Rock on, gold dust. Woman. That went far. Okay, today we are going to talk about, this is my second video today, and we are going to talk about the new Shane Dawson video that just came out. It is 7:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The video has been up for an hour. I just got done watching it. Every single episode of the series becomes my next favorite episode of the series. So we're going to talk about that in a second. If you're wondering why I am wearing this gray hoodie, you can go over and watch my first video that I posted today called James Charles Unfollowed Me. And you can go find out why that happened and why I'm wearing the apology sweatshirt, because I had to make a little apology in there. So anyway, this is my apology gray hoodie that you have to wear when you make apology videos. So you can go see that. I will link that video at the end. I put that up a couple hours ago. But before I do, and I very, very rarely do this, I want to address a comment that I got on my video yesterday. So I made a video yesterday, and I talked in there about the fact that James Charles shaded Tati Westbrook when he did his Instagram story. You can go watch that video from yesterday. And he talked about taking a sugar bear hair pill every night before he goes to bed, and then he winked, I can't wink or I would, at the camera. So anyway, that was the video that I did yesterday. Well, I got this comment today from somebody, and the reason that I am addressing this is because I often get comments from people on my videos, and they're like, well, you didn't address this, well, you didn't address that. And I'm like, I am not going into every single comment and correcting people. I'm just not, okay? But I got this message from somebody, or a comment that says, wait a minute. How is James Charles wink while mentioning sugar bear hair any different than when Jeffree Star was in Dollar General and said, is James Charles' palette in here? That was total shade, but you didn't say anything about that. Well, actually, I made an entire video about that. So I just wanted to address that to show that I am fair across the board. I go in, I talk about it all. I went back and I looked. I made an entire video about that over there. So yes, I am an equal opportuniter. I'm an equal opportuniter over here. Okay, so let's get into this video today. My reaction about the Shane Dawson series today, which is, I think it's called my $20 million deal with Jeffree Star. Okay, first of all, I want to say, and I just texted him, I was so excited to see Rich Lux's music video in here. And, you know, Rich and I have been friends, very, very dear friends, for a long, long, long time, way back in the day. And, you know, I was talking to him every single day when he was making this music video. I know how hard he worked his butt off for that music video. I know what went into it. I know how, you know, he was tired and stressed out. He was so excited for it, and he just wanted to put out something that, you know, was like so spoke of who he was as a person. And, you know, people on the screen get to see, I don't know, I'm just going to say my truth, okay? People on the screen get to see Rich Lux, you know, in the clown makeup and being funny and all that kind of stuff. But the Rich that I know is someone that is just very genuine and authentic and down to earth. And he is somebody that, you know, is just, this has been a dream of his for a very, very long time. And I'm just really excited for him. And when I saw that in the series today, I just was like, this is such a cool moment, you know? So congratulations, Rich. You deserve it more than so many people that I know, and I'm so excited for you. Anyway, I texted him, and I'm going to tell on him. He said he was in tears. So anyway, that was a really cool moment for me when they showed Rich Lux's music video, Clock It in the House in there. Okay, so I have to tell you, this series, or this episode was rather emotional for me on several different levels. First of all, when Shane and Rylan went into their old house and they said goodbye, if you watch my vlogs, I have a vlog every day on Peter Vlogs that I post. It's an hour-long vlog. It's me driving around in a car, and I'm just talking, and it's just stories about my life, and it's very much like a podcast, people say. It might one day be a podcast. But, you know, I talk in there a lot about how something I've done since I was a little kid was that I say goodbye to places. It's something that my dad started with me. And I say goodbye to hotel rooms when we leave. My husband, he knows. I always like, goodbye hotel room, you know. And anyway, and I am somebody that like gets very, very strong attachments to places. And when I saw him walking through the house, First of all, the editing that was done on this video between, that Andrew did, between the memories and the flashbacks of them sitting in the, and then them sitting in the house now, was just so geniusly done. And I thought, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a really cool video for Ryland and Shane to watch back someday, and be able to see them going through the house one last time. I wish I had video of me going through my last, apartment, or, the house that I grew up in one last time before, I said goodbye to that place. I really wish I had that on video. I thought that was such a cool moment that they showed that, and I love that they are interspersing this whole thing on there, So then the rest of the video is really pretty much about, them making the deal with Morphe. We're going to talk about the drama with James Charles in just a second. Them making the deal with Morphe and figuring out how much they need to order and all this kind of stuff. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be a BS artist and act like I didn't make a video where I said that, is this a cash grab for Shane Dawson? And I said in that video, or the next video after that I was going to come back and I was going to go watch that video, which I did, and then I was going to tell how my feelings were. And I said in a video that I did that was a follow-up video, I said having rewatched it, I felt a little bit different, and that having, taken notes from the comments that people left me, I saw something different when I went back in. I still saw some of the same things, but I want to say this. Had I watched this whole series up to this point and I saw this episode, I would not have felt that way. When I watched this episode, it was very, very clear to me that Shane is so excited about this whole process. Seeing his friendship with Jeffree was just, it was very, very endearing to me. Seeing just all of his moments, of putting this together were just very, very cool. And I don't know, for me, this was one of the most endearing episodes of the season, or the season. Is it a season? I mean, are we gonna get more and more and more? Part of it for me is this, is that I think seeing the whole process is just so cool. I love that. And I'm more interested in the making of the palette process and putting this all together than I ever thought that I would be. I'm kind of surprised by that. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, I would kind of like to see Andrew film just a year in Shane Dawson's life. That would be a series that I would be really, really interested in watching. Almost just like, a documentary, just almost like a reality show, so to speak. I would love to see that. I think that would be great because I'm just as interested in those life pieces of Shane Dawson as I am with the makeup being made and all that kind of stuff. So they go in there and they talk about the deal with Morphe and all this kind of stuff. It is so interesting to me to see the background story of how this all goes down, being on a speakerphone, and when Jeffree Star said, mute this call, and it's exciting to see that, And what was interesting to me about that was, number one, there's all this speculation that Jeffree Star really has some huge partnership with Morphe, or that he's in it, and all this kind of stuff. If that were true, and they kind of dispelled that rumor in this episode in such a subtle way that it was surprising. When I watched it, I was like, okay, this is very, very smart, and maybe they didn't even intend this, right? But Jeffree was saying that Jacqueline or somebody else is going to have another huge release with Morphe, and so they didn't want to overlap the two releases, meaning Jeffree and Shane's release with whoever this next person is going to be, which I think we know now is James Charles with his mini palette, right? Which is very, very interesting because now it's starting to look like, when we talk about this happening in March, Dramageddon happening right after that, that is more of this about that. I mean, Tati just announced that her release is going to be out October 25th. And then James's mini palette just came out, and then November 1st is when Shane and Jeffree are going to release their palette. And they were even saying in the series, which I think this is not a surprise to any of us, that, people would get upset because there's going to be all these holiday releases and then they're going to release this. And I think if you look, at the comments on Twitter, at the comments on the videos and stuff, people are saving their money for this. This is what people want right now. So if that's the case, will it diminish, James being able to sell his mini palette and Tati's release and all that kind of stuff? I have to believe, to some degree, it won't affect Tati Beauty as much as people think it's going to, because Tati has a following of her own that is exclusive to Tati, that I think that people that love her will follow her. But I don't know that I necessarily believe the same with James Charles. But if you're trying to get your hands on the James Charles mini palette and you can't, I did a giveaway in my last video. So you want to go check that out because you want to get the mini palette. I gave away something else too, but I'll keep that a secret for you. Okay, so anyway, but I thought that was really, really interesting. And then they come out and they said, yes, we're going to do like an anniversary release of the James Charles palette, the Inner Artist palette. Well, what is interesting about that when you look at all of this going on, right? And you have to keep in mind that that was filmed back then and what we know now. So that means that Jeffree and Shane, at the time that they were filming it, before all this stuff went down, they knew that James was going to be releasing a palette at the end of October, supposedly around that time somewhere, right? Okay, so knowing that, then James supposedly knew insider secrets about Tati's things that she was working on, because she came out in that video and said, James knows things that I'm working on, he could leak that, which means that James knew that Tati was releasing her thing. Well, at the time that this was all going on, James and Jeffree were still friends. So did Jeffree and Shane know that Tati and James were going to be releasing these palettes at the same time that their palette was going to come out? Does that have a lot to do with this disintegration of friendship? Is this really more about business than any of us think? I don't know. Could be interesting to see how this all goes down going from here, you know? And we've all been speculating, like, what are these friendships really about? Is it really just about this Bi Sisters video, which I think we know, okay, because we've seen clips of it, that there's going to be an episode where they're sitting there and they are watching that, you know, video come out, and then they respond to that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out. I thought that was going to be in the video today, but it wasn't. So that's got to be coming up, because we're getting close to that time on the timeline of things. And we now have a release date for the Jeffree Star Shane Dawson palette, which is November 1st. Are you guys excited about it? Who's going to buy it? Listen, okay, I have to tell you something. I was so bitter that I did not get a hoodie. I wanted Andrew's hoodie, his editing tee hoodie, and I also wanted Shane's pig hoodie, the black one, and I was so bitter that I didn't get it, but I didn't even know that it was being released until after it was released, because that is how it worked for me. I slept late that day. But anyway, so they're going to re-release it. Shane put up on Twitter that he was going to be re-releasing that stuff, and they're going to be coming out with this. I am so excited about this launch, and I know a lot of people are too. The thing is, I have to tell you that I really liked about this too. And this was one of the pieces of many that made me think differently about, you know, they're going to make a lot of money off this. You know, when they were talking about 1 million units and stuff like that, I thought, okay, if you think about 1 million units, that you're really talking about 500,000 of Jeffree's people buying it because they want to buy Jeffree's, you know, palette, 500,000 of Shane's people wanting to buy it. When you look at the numbers of subscribers that they have and the followers that they have, that's really not that many. They're going to sell out 1 million like that. I mean, it's going to occur. I want the Shane Glosson. I want the lip gloss. Y'all know my lip gloss is popping and I love lip gloss. I want the Shane Glosson. But these things are going to sell out right away, and they're going to have to restock. And what's smart about them doing it November 1st is that they can have several restocks before the holidays, and so people can start buying it for holiday presents. It's really smart, the release date that they're doing it. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But this is what I was going to say. You know, the money, obviously, he's going to be making a huge amount of money off this, and, you know, people are okay with that. They think he deserves it. You know, and the one thing is that Shane hasn't made a lot of money off of YouTube in comparison to other people. He's still does very, very well, but this is going to be a lot of money, and rightfully so for what he's doing. You know, any other YouTuber that worked with Jeffree Star to release a collab would be making the same amount of money, so why not Shane Dawson, okay? But what I really loved about this was when he went in and they were talking about the colors, and I think it was a conversation he was having with Morgan that was interspersed with them moving the colors of the mini and the mini palette and the maxi palette or whatever, just a regular palette, was when he said, because I honestly thought, like at the beginning before of all of this, when these palettes came out, they were going to be like real crazy colors, Illuminati, conspiracy. But it's a really usable palette, and he wants it to be a really usable palette so that people are buying it because they're going to actually use it, not just that it's just a cash grab, not that it's just some crazy thing that he can put his name on it, whatever. And it's really cool to just see that he really cares that much about the people that are going to actually be buying his product. And that was also shown with the logo, you know, like all of those logos are up there. If it was me and I'd be looking at it, I'd be like, oh my God, which one do I like the most? I can't believe that I have this logo. And Shane's like, no, it has to be perfect. And I really believe, having watched Shane for a long time, that most of that comes from Shane wanting it to be perfect for the people. I really, really do believe that. I think that's why he sometimes waits to put out, you know, his episodes of his different series, because he wants the editing to be perfection for him, all that kind of stuff. But I really think it's because he wants people that are going to watch it to really have an enjoyable series. The same thing with the palette. He wants it to be the best it can possibly be when people, you know, are going there to buy it. So there are several things that are coming up, you know, in the timeline. First of all, we have the Jaclyn Hill lipstick situation, the lipstick gates, but, you know, some people call it. We also have a Dramageddon 2 coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see if they address those things and how they're addressed in the series to come. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about this episode. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm really, really enjoying this series. You know, going into it, I said, like, I'm not real super excited. Like, I don't know that I want to watch 9 episodes about anybody, but I'm excited when it comes out. I'm like, okay, it's coming out, it's coming out. The only thing that I am not excited excited about, I will say this, is that Shane is releasing it at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which in Indiana is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that means I have to wait so late in the day. But anyway, that's just something small. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.